discovered VIP Traveler from a viral social media ad or elsewhere, you are probably wondering to yourself, is this legit? So after putting my own money on the line and booking through VIP Traveler, I can indeed confirm that it is legit. However, there are some big caveats, which is what we're going to talk about in today's video. This year I booked a super viral package through VIP Traveler to the Maldives. This package included a luxurious overwater villa for an entire week for 2 people, included most of our food, included massages and excursions. It had so many good inclusions that it was way too good to be true, and I saw nothing, literally nothing on the internet reviewing VIP Traveler, so I was a little bit skeptical and a bit nervous that I was putting thousands of dollars on the line and that I was gonna get scammed. So I learned from my mistakes and my lessons now. First of all, what is VIP Traveler? Well, essentially VIP Traveler is a luxury travel agency that specializes in luxury travel packages at a major discount. They work with a lot of brand new hotels, like at grand openings. Our package was for a grand opening. We were there even before the hotel even opened. For publicity, they will offer these really cheap deals before grand openings to get the word out about resorts. That's kind of what they do. They find all of these really great luxury travel deals for us and make it really easy for us to find them. While there is a yearly membership for VIP Traveler, you do not need a yearly membership to book most of these packages, and you will not be coerced into joining the membership program on your trip like a timeshare. I was a little bit worried, like, is this gonna be like a timeshare where I have to go to a presentation, because this just seems way too good to be true of a deal. So I was a little bit worried that we were gonna have to sit through some presentation and kind of be coerced into the yearly membership, but we were not at all, which was great. So now let's go into the review a little bit more, because there's definitely some issues with my booking that I want to address, and it's important for you to know to make sure that you don't get scammed, but there were a lot of good pros too. So let's get to it. So like I mentioned earlier, before I booked my trip to the Maldives through VIP Traveler, I was really skeptical because I saw 0 reviews of VIP Traveler and of the resort I was booking for. So Maldives, that's the resort we stayed at. I saw 0 reviews, legitimate reviews online about VIP Traveler and the resort, because again, I later found out that it was a brand new resort, so there wasn't anyone there to review it, right? So I found that out later, but I was hesitant to book this deal because there was no information online about VIP Traveler or So Maldives. The only reviews that I found were on Reddit, and they were very clearly by people who had not actually booked through VIP Traveler. It was Reddit questions about, like, is VIP Traveler legit? This is how much this package that I want to book is cost. And then all the comments were, that seems way too good to be true, definitely a scam, sounds like a timeshare, kind of like my original thoughts, but they were very clearly from people that had never booked through VIP Traveler. And if you're watching this video, you're probably looking for a good review too. You're probably thinking the same thing, like there's not much out there. And so I'm gonna get all of your questions answered hopefully in this video. One of my phrases that I use a lot as a travel blogger is, I learned the hard way so that you don't have to. And I was repeating myself that phrase over and over again as I literally put $4,000 on the line booking through VIP Traveler, because I wanted to figure out for you if this was legit, if it's worth it. So that is why I booked it. I was hesitant, but we did it. My husband and I booked this trip to So Maldives for an entire week for $3,999. A bunch of inclusions were added, and if you know anything about the Maldives, these overwater villas typically cost anywhere between 15 to 20K for a week. So $4,000 for a week in an overwater villa in the Maldives was a steal. And we did book this with our own money. This is not sponsored or affiliated with VIP Traveler in any way. So I want to put that out there too, or So Maldives. I did not work with either the resort or VIP Traveler. This was just our money. All of this is completely unbiased. But once I posted on my Instagram stories that I had booked this trip and found this really good deal to the Maldives, my DMs were littered with questions asking if this was a legit trip. I got so many questions in my comments, in the comments of VIP Travelers posts and So Maldives posts, and tagged in different comments. I got so many questions asking if this was legit, and my answer was like, I'll find out. I don't know. I'm about to find out. But obviously I came back from my trip and can again confirm that this is 100% legitimate. VIP Traveler is totally legit. Our package was legit. All of the inclusions that were mentioned from VIP Traveler when we booked were included once we were there. We had no issues with getting our free massages or our free drinks and free food. Everything was very seamless, except for one part, which I'll get to in a moment. So my exact VIP Traveler Maldives package included amazing food. All of our breakfasts and dinners were included, and then we just ate breakfast a little bit later towards the end of the breakfast time, and then we were full through lunch until dinner, so it literally covered all of our food. All ground transportation, including the boat from the Malé airport to the private island that the resort is on and back. It included villa upgrades, it included the massages like I mentioned, and excursions. We went on a sunset dolphin tour, and we could have gone, there's another excursion that we could have done. We ended up just loving our villa so much that we stayed there instead of going on the second excursion, but that was included too. And while we were at the resort, we didn't have to correct any waiters with incorrect charges. That's happened to me before, where I kind of have to say like, oh no, like this was supposed to be included in my package, you charged me too much, or I wasn't supposed to be charged for this. I did not have to do that here. All of the waiters, all of the staff at the resort knew my inclusions immediately upon arrival. Now, to go into the booking process, this is where things get really sketchy. The booking process itself online was not the problem. It was pretty seamless. It took me 15 minutes, put in my credit card information, and get my dates booked for this package. However, both the booking process and the booking confirmation were sent from VIP Traveler. After I had made that booking, I got emails from VIP Traveler, but I got no confirmation whatsoever from the actual resort, which made me really nervous. I felt pretty suspicious about the legitimacy of the booking, so to calm my nerves before we flew literally across the entire globe, I emailed the resort directly to confirm that our booking was legitimate and that they had our names booked for an overwater villa upgrade like VIP Traveler said we would. This is where I was like, oh my gosh, I just got scammed. Although the resort was able to confirm my booking, the dates that I had booked through VIP Traveler were not the same dates that Maldives had our names booked for. I booked our trip from March 13th through the 19th, but Maldives had our book tripped for April 13th through the 19th. It was a whole month off. And unfortunately, we did not know this until we were in Malé, in the Maldives. We had flown literally 48 hours across the globe, got to the airport, and the resort staff who were supposed to be boating us from the airport to the resort were confused because we were not on their list of names for bookings that day. You can imagine the horror on my face when the boating staff, they had contacted the resort and they came back to me and said, we have you booked for next month. The way my blood rushed out of my head. We were literally stranded in the middle of the Indian Ocean with no hotel, no flights back. It was expensive to get there, as you could imagine. I was stressed. Thankfully, the resort and boat company staff were super, super nice, and they really felt bad for me. They were so kind, and they ended up calling the resort back to see if there was any way that we could stay there in March instead of April, since we were literally already there. And it just so happened that there was a villa open for our dates. So thankfully, praise God, they were able to change our dates with relatively no issue. We weren't able to get into our villa right away when we got there like we were supposed to early in the morning, but that was fine. We just hung out by the pool. They were so kind and so accommodating. I am so thankful for that resort staff for accommodating to us, and they did this without charging us anything extra. So they were so great and so kind, and luckily I had proof. I had the emails between me and VIP Traveler as well as me and the resort saying that like this was not my fault. Like I didn't book my flights for the wrong dates. It was an error on one of their ends, either VIP Traveler or the resorts. I to this day don't know who messed up the dates. It could have been VIP Traveler, it could have been the resort. I don't know, but I had proof that it wasn't my fault, which really helped because then I was able to show the staff like I promise like I did all the right things. And So obviously that helped with us not being charged anything extra, I'm sure. But either way, honestly, they were so kind and so accommodating. I don't know if they would have charged us anyway because they just felt so bad for us that we had flown across the globe and did not have a place to sleep. But again, I do not know if this was an error on VIP Travelers or So Maldives' end to this day, but I need to mention nonetheless because obviously you do not want that to happen. Luckily, my husband and I travel all the time, so we are a lot more adaptable than most people when it comes to traveling, and we were still panicking. So I can only imagine, like, if this is your dream trip and you don't travel very often and you've saved up forever for this trip to the Maldives, and then you get there and learn that your dates were messed up, I can only imagine the horror that you would feel because we felt terrified and we felt stressed, and we do this all the time. So I needed to mention that because obviously that's a huge deal. Everyone makes mistakes, so I definitely am understanding of that. But I obviously need to mention it because this is an honest review. I want to be honest with you. So if you end up booking through VIP Traveler, it should go without saying that you need to email the resort directly. After you get the booking confirmation from VIP Traveler, you need to email the resort directly with a confirmation of your booking and the booking dates to make sure they line up with when you booked under VIP Traveler. I'm pretty sure our situation was a one-time mistake. I definitely would book through VIP Traveler again. It would not keep me from booking through VIP Traveler again, but I definitely would email the resort just to make sure all of the ducks are in a row and that I book my flights for the correct booked dates. This trip was hands down the best trip both my husband and I have ever taken in our lives, and that is saying a lot. VIP Traveler really knew what they were doing when they were partnering with So Maldives because this resort is incredible. It's on its own private island. The service is amazing. They memorize your food orders and your drink orders and your names. They recognize you when you walk into the breakfast buffet, and the food is, oh my gosh, the best food I have eaten on a trip ever. I could go on and on about the food. I won't, but I could. And obviously the overwater villas were a dream. They were a super modern layout. You had your own private plunge pool. You had your own private overwater hammock. You had direct access to the water. The water was incredible. The beaches were amazing. You could see wildlife right from your back steps. It was just to die for, and one of my best trips that I've ever taken in my life. And we got all of this for $3,999 plus tax. The tax was quite a bit, obviously, because it's $4,000, so the tax is gonna be high. In total, with the tax, with the flights, with miscellaneous expenses like, you know, airport food and what have you, or airport hotels because we had an overnight layover, in total, we spent around $6,000 for the whole week-long trip. Again, Maldives trips like this usually cost between $15,000 and $20,000. VIP Traveler had this package, so without flights, without airport hotels or airport food and other miscellaneous expenses and tax, they had this package valued at over $12,000, so that just puts into perspective how good of a deal it was. And the 5-star food alone literally could have paid for the entire package. Every single receipt that we got every night for dinner came to around $300 total. Times, you know, 6 nights, that adds up. So the food alone, like, almost paid for the trip. The dinners, between the breakfast, the dinners, and the drinks that we got every night, like, the food alone could have paid for a lot of that package price. So obviously there is no wondering whether or not VIP Traveler is legit, even though their packages oftentimes seem way too good to be true. It is legit, it is good, and it is true. I definitely recommend booking through VIP Traveler. I would do it again in a heartbeat if I found another good Maldives deal. If the deal's still running, I will link it below. Otherwise, I'll link their website or some of the other good deals that they have running. But again, just make sure to send a quick email to the resort to make sure that your booking is confirmed through them as well as VIP Traveler. Now that you know my experience with VIP Traveler, would you book through them? I would love to know, so definitely comment below if you are daring enough to book through VIP Traveler and if you think it is worth it. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you want to know more about how I book luxury trips on a budget all the time, check out my ebook guide, The Budget Travel Bible. I go through all of my best tips for traveling in luxury on a budget in that ebook, so I'll link that as well. Definitely check that out if that interests you. Other than that, I will see you in next week's video. So for now, ciao.